Guys, I always get involved in drama, don't I? I do forgive me about this whole setup. I'm just coming off the farm now. It's about 1:30 in the morning. I was sat in my car, so it's going to be a little bit dark. Um, but yeah, I want to jump on. You guys like my therapy, yeah? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to let it build up. I'm going to let you know everything that's going on at the moment. We will speak about Tesla's Roadster. Look, that's going to be a mad one, isn't it? I'll come up with a few things I've been working on over the last while around this Tesla Roadster flying car. Is it going to be a flying car? What is it going to be? We've done a bit of research around it. I have a few different theories on how it may pan out. What I'm going to do, I'm going to let the guys build up. There's a few coming in here at the moment. But yeah, I have fallen out with one of who I thought was a friend on X. And yeah, do you know, it was one of those, do you know, where you just let it rip. It was annoying me over the past while. All our research just kept being shared out. We'd have private conversations with a certain individual, and like, I can show all the messages between us. Yeah, they had a bigger following on X than us, but look, all I ever requested from them was, look, I'll repost whatever you put out. Look, I just expect you to do the same for us. But yeah, no, it turned into a big explosion then on X, and look, I got a little bit heated. But look, I'm gonna jump into the chat here. So, Vaccine C, hey yo, Chris, big shout out, my guy. You ran a spaces the last day. You explained quite a bit around the drone industry. I'd love to keep that going. You're building something great there, and yeah, we will start covering ONDS. We will be covering on NDS earnings, so I can't wait for that. Dylan, big shout out, my right hand man. Welcome aboard. Dylan's actually getting a new mic set up, so that'll be great for all the live streams. Also, we will have Reese coming back very, very soon, guys. So, Vast, damn Liam, is it the middle of the night over there in Genesland? It is. It's 1:30 at night. What time's it over where you are, my guy? This is what I find strange. This is what I mean where times. I know it's a lot better for me. If I actually wanted to grow massively, it'd be better for me to stream well late into the night. But you know what? With farming, I would not be able to stream like 4 in the morning. Goat Gain, sorry, bud, wasn't subscribed. Just fix that. No, big shout, my guy. Make sure everyone jump across to the Goat Gains. I think you're nearly on 500 followers on X. Big shout out, my guy. What's up, Liam, Vast, and Goat? Right, guys, before you get into it, do smash that subscribe button. If you want to comment in the chat, do smash that subscribe button. You're able to steer everything that happens in this stream. And look, no questions are out of bounds. Well, no, I'm not going to say that. Some questions are out of bounds, but we'll keep it up. Just got home after a long day of working the goats. Everything good with you? Everything's all great with me. Do you know what? What's goat farming like? I farm cattle, poultry, and that's about it, my guy. Goats seem like a mad one. Do you milk the goats? You just braid them? What are we doing with the goats? Right, guys. So yeah, it all started kicking off on X. So I actually wanted to come on and speak about the Tesla flying car. Actually, do you know what? I'll beat this out. Fuck him. We will continue with what we were going to talk about. We're going to talk about Tesla flying car. And look, as stream builds up, we will get into the whole drama that's unfolded over the last, hour, where I exploded on X at someone. So, yeah, we had Elon come out yesterday in that Joe Rogan podcast, and he was speaking about the Roadster, and Peter Thiel about he wants a flying car, so why not build a flying car? And look, X exploded I exploded when I heard that. I thought, do you know what? I actually texted him straight away, Tesla making eVTOL. And then when I actually sat back, I thought, no, they're not. And I'll let you know why I don't think they're making a serious electric vehicle takeoff and landing vehicle. Some of you will disagree with me. Do jump into chat if you do disagree with me and let me know what you think. But look, there's a lot of hype going around about Archer, and I did put out a video yesterday on why I don't want to start going down these rabbit holes, down silly things to do with Archer just because Adam posted a picture of the midnight at the UP Summit. I actually, at this stage, I do just think they met with Tesla at the UP Summit, and I think that was more or less it. I don't even know, did Adam expect it to explode as big as it did? But look, if I have a bone to pick Adam, that'll happen on the earnings call. We'll do it there and then. But yeah, all the way back in 2017, it has been rumored that the Roadster is going to be a flying vehicle using SpaceX tech, not eVTOL tech, not Archer's fans or Lilium's docks or any of that stuff. It'll be using rocket thrusters, so technology from SpaceX. Now, you're going to say, how could you use a rocket thruster on a electric car? It's going to be compressed air. Elon said that himself. So Elon put out a tweet back in 2018, and this is what the whole drama was about earlier on. So Elon put back a tweet around 2018 saying that the Roadster will contain 10 rocket thrusters partnered with SpaceX. They will be for braking, accelerating, cornering, was there another one? And potentially flying. And I think that was sort of swept under the carpet. The hype didn't push as far then. So then over the next few years, there's been 2 or 3 tweets a year where Roadster has been announced it may be flying. Then we got that interview. Let's Talk Joby actually put out the one where they said about the rocket thrusters again on the Tesla. Now, let's think of this. We're all big into the eVTOL space, the electric vertical takeoff and landing. Anyone that's not familiar with it, electric vertical takeoff and landing. We know how hard it is with the FAA for certification. Now, we've always said if Tesla entered this space, they'll be able to smooth things out quick enough, but not quick enough that you can announce it in December and then roll it out in whenever. They would still have to, like the FAA would have to approve if this was a flying vehicle. And this is where we're going to go down 2 different avenues. So I'll go with theory number 1, but I actually rewatched. So before I say this theory, I did rewatch the podcast, and I'm not actually as confident it's this theory anymore, but I was pretty confident. Me and Reese actually get so excited earlier on around, we actually thought we had some. So Starship is set to land its second stage in December. They've been pushing out very, very heavily lately that with a payload on board, they'll be able to do freight to freight, location to location transfer within the Earth. So going from, say, New York to Hong Kong within 35 minutes or so and deliver a payload. I then ran a few numbers through Grok regarding weight-wise of this predicted Roadster and how many you'd fit in the Starship payload bay. It's giving me a number. We can't give exact numbers because we don't actually know the specifications of the Roadster, but it's giving a estimated number between 80 to 120 of these vehicles could fit in the payload bay within Starship. So then I started thinking, Elon said about this is either going to be the best launch, quotation, launch of a product, it'll be on a launch, or if it fails, it'll be the biggest flop. And if Starship failed and exploded, of course it'd be the biggest flop. Then you're going to think there's no material behind that. Well, I actually found a quote back from 2019 from Elon Musk where he said Roadster will be designed to orbit Mars. So he's openly said it's going to be designed to be able to fit in a rocket and orbit Mars. And then it started getting me down the fact that we're talking about bond tech. Well, what's better than bond tech? Well, if it was self-compressed, that you could actually drive it in space, you could drive it on Mars. Now, this is my whole look. I'm big in eVTOLs, I'm big in rocket labs. This is my whole eVTOL and space brain going mad. So then I started thinking about it, and I was like I spoke to Francisco, and even Francisco said they've done that before with a Tesla inside a Falcon 9. Would they want to pull the same stunt again? Because really, you get a flying car, your car is flying, you get a launch, the biggest launch, plus imagine the American on that Starship landing for the first time. The second stage, we all know the booster was on it before, but the second stage with the payload on board. SpaceX has been pushing this out lately that they want to do location to location transfer within the Earth. So why not prove it with your own product and then announce your product? Because it is set to go out in December. And then when he was on about the final checks, is it the final checks of Starship? And then I was thinking with the FAA, SpaceX have always had trouble with the FAA when Starship had problems. So it's not like Elon's immune to the FAA and the FAA will just smooth over concepts for him just to let him push out an eVTOL. That won't work because it didn't work with Starship, and he was the only one with the ability to go to Mars, and it still didn't work with the FAA. So why all of a sudden, when Archer and Joby are doing it, that Tesla would all of a sudden get special treatment? That wouldn't happen. So I did go down that rabbit hole. But then when I actually went back over it, I was like, no, I really think he's on about a design for a flying car. Like, every time I listened to it, I was like, no, he's going for a flying car. And then when I actually started researching into it and finding them tweets, I'm like, no, thrusters available and that. And then I started looking into the FAA side of it. Would that be possible? And again, yes, they're going to have to go with certification. The only way they could get around the certification is experimental class. But you would only be able to be there yourself with a passenger if you had a pilot's license. And what makes everyone think that they'd have a pilot's license? And then you're going to go full autonomy. So you're thinking not only are they going to be able to launch this product, or not launch, he didn't say launch, he said launch the demonstration or the product reveal in December. So he's not on about like out to the public in December. But how do you think he's going to be able to do that in December and then the FAA just allow you to roll it out to the public full autonomy? That wouldn't work because Archer and Joby are currently going down this rabbit hole of full autonomy flight. So then I started looking into these thrusters and these 10 air compressed thrusters and how much power would they have and how much flight would they give. So they'd give you the ability to, now look, this is not bulletproof, this is not certain because I don't know what tech they're developing there at the moment. But with current battery technology, these thrusters would be able to give an output of around a 20-second hover. So it's not long flight. But this would be great for obstacles you would overcome in the road. You'd be able to hover over them, fly over them. Also, you'd be able to store these vehicles at a higher level. So really, genuinely, hand on heart, I know you guys really want an Archer and a Tesla partnership. I don't think it's anything to do with that. I think Roadster, Tesla and SpaceX, like that's his baby there. Like he's just going to link them two. I don't think he's really going after the whole electric vertical takeoff and landing market. And he's actually specified that this will be a SpaceX package. And that was all the way back in 2020 or something. Oh no, I think he mentioned it in 2017. this be a SpaceX package. So your Roadster wouldn't come custom like this, like the bulletproof Cybertrucks. I don't think they come custom like that. I think you have to order the bulletproof version. But yeah, the SpaceX package would have this ability to fly if it needed to. Well, fly, hover, as such, 20 feet off the ground or so. So that's where I think we were going with that. But I know, look, there's nearly 50 of you here now. I know a lot of you have been messaging me and seeing it all kicking off on X then. So I'll give you a rundown on what has happened on X. Depending on how angry I get, I may actually expose this beep for what he is. But yeah, so I've told you that research I've done there. Look, none of it is complete bulletproof. I could be completely wrong. But as mates, as friends, me and Dylan would, if Dylan posts something, I won't nick Dylan's research. I will repost Dylan's research so he gets the credit for it. And I think that's how relationships should work. If you're on X and you have done research, I'll never nick the research from you. I will always repost you. I don't care how big, small you are. So anyway, yeah, Archer Daily. I've then put out on X like all these tweets, and I've put like my thoughts on all these tweets, put them on the line there. So me and Dylan were speaking, and I'm scrolling through X as I'm speaking to Dylan. And next thing I see, Archer Daily has posted all these tweets that I've just found, literally 10 minutes after I found them, after me messaging him and saying I found these tweets. But yet he's put it as if he's found them himself. He's just put all these tweets together and just pull it out as his own research. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna beep this. I was like, fuck that. I was like, my guy, like, what are you doing? So I messaged him. He just blanked me. I was like, what do you mean? I've just sent all that to you. Like, relationships work both ways. If you want information from me, like, at least give me the credit. And look, that could be completely selfish. He didn't respond. He read it and just ignored it. So I just went straight on to, do I have a visitor out here at the moment? No, I don't. So I'm getting distracted here because I see someone walking around. Yeah, so what I done then, I went straight to X and look, I lost a head. I was like, bad form, posted everything and was like, you've literally put this out after me telling you about it and you haven't done it. Relationships work both ways. I've always reposted your stuff to help you grow. Look, he's much bigger than us, but I've always reposted his stuff to let it go. So next thing, he reposted me back and said, I repost everything of yours, which he doesn't. And I proved that after. But I repost everything of yours, bad form or something like that. So yes, I then lost the head, and I'm not even going to repeat what I said, but I kind of lost it with him on X. And I put a few receipts of what this individual's like. So I put where he's threatened us many times if we don't put out information. He's no longer going to contact us. I've put out where I would be like reposting all his stuff all the time, and then it'll come to an earnings call, and next thing he would post another creator's earnings call instead of ours. And it's a bit like, mate, I thought we were mates and like we've built a good relationship where we're sending information back and over, but it felt like it was a one-way relationship. He wanted information out of us, but he didn't want to reshare our earnings or reshare any of our streams or anything like that. And look, you can jump onto Archer Daily there and see, has he reposted any of our stuff? I think he's deleted half his stuff now. So yes, I lost the head completely. He blocked me, and then I just went on a rampage. And then, do you know what? I was like, do you know what? I'm fed up of fucking leeches in this space. And I was like, I'm just going to start calling everyone out. Because do you know what? We've had collaborations with so many people. I will work with absolutely anyone. Like, look, I'm working with, well, like Dylan's a fucking brother at this stage. But I'm working with like Chris, Fast CNC. I'm working with him in the drone space. Francisco, he's great in the rocket lab space. Work him daily. But we've had many creators we've worked with, and I feel like as soon as a relationship is only one way, well then, do you know what? There's no relationship with the Hulse brothers, and that's the way it's going to go going forward. So, jumping back into the chat. Dylan, cancel concert. So, Fasty and C, one of these days we need a farm stream. Forget the markets. Let's talk paddocks, grazing, and electric fences. Do you know what? It's probably be like 3 of us on here, but 100% we can do it. I've done many videos from the farm. But yeah, no problem. Goat games. We have milk goats. We used to do a cattle farm, but cows can be rough. Easy to manage, but if one gets too friendly, they can hurt you. Just got into chicken, so we'll see. Big shout out. What type of chickens have you? Yeah, cows. Do you know what? I love cows. We run quite heavy cattle, so it would be Shirleys and limousines. So yeah, they're big boys. And yeah, if they get too friendly, they're more than friends then. Dylan says, my question is how to get enough takeoff space to be able to get to rocket speed and then get to the air and then land again. So I think these thrusters will rotate to a vertical and it'll take off vertically. That's all I'm thinking. I don't think we're going to take off like a conventional plane because, my God, the FAA definitely ain't allowing that. Get to takeoff speed and take off and get these wings expand out. Like, do you know when Rogan said about these wings that expand out? It's like, where in the name of God are you going to be where you can get these 10-foot wings out of your car? And take off. And then who actually is going to be able to fly this thing? Like, not everyone has a pilot's license. So we need to think of that too. Everyone wants to fly in car, but like, not everyone can fly a plane. The only way they could do it is fully autonomous, but we see the battles with full autonomy. We can't even get electric vertical takeoff and landing vehicles that literally look like planes and helicopters to fly. So how in the name of God are we going to get a car with rocket thrusters through certification before them? It's not going to happen. Now, I know people are going to say passenger air taxi and your personal vehicle. But the difference with the personal vehicle, you can carry, I think it's something like 2 or 3 with an experimental. You wouldn't be able to carry a whole family of 5. And then I don't know about carrying anyone under the age of 18 in an experimental. I wouldn't say the FAA would be too happy about that, not going to lie. The Goat Game says, that's a good point. FAA certification takes forever, as we all know. And, like, it's always going to come down to FAA certification. That's the thing. I know it's a mind number, but, yeah, FAA certification just slows down everything. Vass says, I didn't listen to the Rogan podcast. I did catch All In. Yeah, so the All In was quite good. I like the promo car transport theory, though. And that's what I was thinking. I was like, there's your flying car. It's flying. But then, like, me and Dylan were talking about different concepts. Maybe it could be, so we know Elon loves, like he said it again yesterday, the fact that the Cybertruck was able to pull a Porsche 911 while towing a Porsche 911. So then I was like to Dylan, well, what if it's a demonstration where it's racing the likes of a fighter jet or something like that, and it beats the fighter jet to take off? Could be something like that. But look, again, it's all about this big promotion he's on about, this big product reveal, the biggest launch of all time. And I'm like, the biggest launch of all time is going to be Starship. That's what I'm thinking. The Goat Gains says, there's actually a Roadster orbiting the Earth right now, has a dummy in a spacesuit driving it. Pretty cool. What you can do with some money. Big shout out, my guy. Ash, if they're using electricity to compress air and you think that they're going to operate in space, where... Okay, so let me go back on that. If they're using electricity to compress air and you think that they're going to operate in space where they have a storage for this air, otherwise they would run out pretty fast. So no, these are two different theories. So there's the SpaceX theory where it could be like that, and then they're just using these compressed air for downforce and the likes. You wouldn't necessarily have to have it because that's the SpaceX package. The standard Roadster won't have all these beautiful perks on it. And then if it's going to space, I just think, well, then that's what the flying car is. It's going to space. If you get me. Ash says 11 people. Yeah, but I'm running it on X as well, so I can see X and YouTube together. Stock says, I respect the repost. And then World Trav says, sorry, bro. Sucks when people let you down. No, do you know what? Don't worry about it. You guys are always here for me, and that's all that matters. Do you know what? I was saying this to them. I was like, do I go live? Do I not go live? Do I go live? Do I not go live? And I was like, people on a Saturday, do they want me to go live? Because I just wanted to talk about Tesla. And then this happened. I was like, do you know what? You guys are my therapy. So do you know what? I'll just talk to you guys. Dylan says, literally laughing. Thank you for debunking my rocket car. Lol. I'm like, where is the Autobahn? That's the thing. I remember seeing you say that about the Autobahn, and I was like, I was kind of confused. I was like, but why do you need an Autobahn? And then I get what you're saying now. You needed to get up to the speed for conventional takeoff. And I was like, I don't think it will be a vehicle that can conventionally take off like that. Look, I could be completely wrong. Look, everything I'm saying today is not bulletproof. Yes, we talk about electric vertical takeoff and landing vehicles, but if I knew anything about the Roadster solidly, I'd be working at Tesla. I couldn't lie. By the way, that's another thing I thought. Do you know that prick on X, Archer Fact Check? And he fact checks everything, but it's a lot of bollocks. Yeah, that's Archer Daily, by the way. And there's another guy, Mindset Something. And then there's another guy as well, Ross Nolan. He works with Archer Daily. Yeah, Archer Fact Check is Archer Daily. I just want to put that out there. Stock Dylan says, oh, hey, just thought, remember the change in October 25 in the light sport vehicle? Can't remember the details. I'll go check that. I do remember something about that, but will that have anything to do with the Roadster? I actually don't know. Vav CMC says, Joe Rogan smoking blunts and shooting the shit with Elon isn't exactly high alpha content. Do you know what? I actually love that podcast. I actually thought it was so funny. FEA Mosaic Rule that I was thinking of. I know Elon has earned it, but like, man, Elon can say anything, but let Adam G say they are Olympic partners on TV, PR stuntman. Lol. That's the thing, yeah. But the only thing we say that, but Elon does deliver, my guy. I feel like we can let Elon away with an awful lot because of what he's done. Adam, I believe people will start easing up on him if they do achieve everything. Even if they achieve half it, I actually think people will start easing up on Adam. And I actually think Adam's be an unbelievable CEO once they get past that certification, because I think he's a great salesman. Did you all listen to Rogan with Paul Malucki, CEO of Android? I actually didn't, my guy. Do you know what? I actually might do that tonight. Do you know what I've been like mad interested in lately? Do you know that what's it called? Free Eye Atlas. Yeah, Free Eye Atlas, that's all I've been watching lately. Everything to do with that comment, my guy. But I love how Elon like kind of debunked it too. Do you know what? I'm a bit of a madman when it comes to that. I don't know about aliens, but like I do jump down them rabbit holes. Do you know who I do watch an awful lot is Graham Hancock. I actually think he's funny as anything. And do you know what? Some of his things I actually like. I'm like, yeah, that kind of makes sense. But yeah, I don't particularly swallow most of it. Mosaic Deal says no more weight limit. The old £1,300 weight limit for light sport aircraft has been removed. Higher stall and top speed. The stall speed limit is now 61 knots, calibrated airspeed with flaps extended to maximum speed. I think we're going too far down it though. I actually, if they do bring out a flying car, I actually don't think it's genuinely going to be a flying car. It's just flying around. You can just go here, there, and everywhere. If they do bring it out, I think it is just going to be them hops. I think it's going to be like 20 seconds, where you lift, say, a truck. They could have all these cyber trucks and they could go, that's another thing. They could have, like, I don't know, Starship. Could it go over, I know that's like, what, 100 meters tall, but could it fly over there, go down, and then where you go? I don't know. There's just so many. Guys, do jump into the comments. Let me know what's your biggest fears. Do you think it's going to be an electric vertical takeoff and landing vehicle? Do you think it's going to be like, I don't know, the plane, or not the planes, the cars in the future that, like, do you know where they, like, more or less hover around? They're not even touching the ground. Because I was even going down that avenue earlier. I was like, I've heard all this about compressed air. And then I even went down, and you're going to think I'm a weirdo here, but I was like, what if you compressed air and pushed it under the tires? And would it create a hard enough surface and make it go quicker? And it's like pushing it back. And then I was like, in theory, it's flying because it's not touching the ground. But then I was like, traction. And I was like, nah, it can't work. And then I was thinking about downforce. And I was like, do you know what? I'm not an engineer. So I'll leave that to the engineers. Then Dylan says, more seats. Aircraft can now have up to 4 seats. Engine flexibility. So they wouldn't even be allowed the 5 seats under that Mosaic rules, but I don't think they'd be on the light sport aircraft, would they? Engine flexibility, there are no longer limits on horsepower. See, the problem is we can go down like all these things with the FAA with the current rules now, but these vehicles are going to have to be designed that they can actually drive around on public roads too. So it's like certifying a plane that can also drive on the road. I just think it's too much hassle than it's worth when he's not particularly going down that avenue. Like, I could see if he was already making like electric vertical takeoff land vehicles, or he said he wanted to go into that, but not just Peter Field wants a flying car. So I'm now gonna like completely break the industry. I think he's just using this SpaceX package. A bit like, do you know, he loves these little challenges. Can he make the Cybertruck bulletproof to subsonic bullets? So I think it was just a challenge for him. Could he do this? I don't necessarily think it's going to be this thing that can like fly 400 miles, and I don't think we have to worry too much as Archer and Joby. Do let me know what you think, guys. Would you be worried as Archer and Joby Tesla? Like, I'd be very worried if they were entering the genuine air taxi space, but they're not. And I wouldn't let this Roadster thing scare you. Like, I really don't think they are anything like Archer and Joby. I think it's a complete. I think Elon and flying car is Elon having fun. It's, I have a bulletproof car. Oh, my car can lift off. My car can do this. My car can do that. I genuinely don't think he's going for the whole air taxi thing at the moment. I think he would sooner make an electric aeroplane or a big jetliner or something like that. He's spoken about that before, than make a car that can not only drive. Because imagine how heavy that'll be. Like, not only drive, then be able to fly like Archer and Joby. I don't think. And why have Archer and Joby, like, why has everyone gone down different avenues completely, and then Elon's going for rocket thrusters? Like, surely someone would have thought of rocket thrusters if they were really, really efficient for a aircraft. Now, I know not everyone would have the technology, but I genuinely think this is for like half or the ability that it would be able to fly. I just don't think it would have the battery power or anything. But then there was a tweet 2018 they're on about taking out the back seats in order to have the SpaceX tech in the back seats. So then we start thinking, I don't know, it could start looking a little bit like an EHang VT-35. Just saying. That would be a lot better than that, by the way. But I'm just saying. Expanded aircraft types. The rule opens up more aircraft types beyond. Have I got someone behind me there? Beyond airplanes such as gyroplanes and helicopters. Okay, that's all. The Goat Game says, Parmalucky said, it's more about the aliens from another dimension than another planet. Don't get me started, I'll take my seat. Yeah? Vaccine C says, Andrew is putting out some dope tech. And then... Ooh, I'm really losing it there. So Dylan says, fair mosaic debunked. Didn't think an EV, but trying to figure out the vague Elon. The only thing is, I think we can shoot down rabbit holes a little bit too much too. I don't think Elon would give absolutely everything away on a Joe Rogan podcast like that unless, like, they had the announcement pretty soon. But then it's Elon. He could. Do you know what? I actually respect that guy. The Goat Games, Eagle Eye looks indistinguishable from Call of Duty. Pretty cool. Dylan says, Andrew did have an autonomous fighter jet. Trust me, I didn't think that it would be a playing card, just couldn't fit the mosaic change in one comment. I'm with you. Big shout out, my guy. No, do you know what? Dylan's jumping on with me tomorrow. It's going to be, do you know what? It's going to be a belt. I like having people by my side on this. It's a little bit weird running live streams on your own. Strange. But, guys, there's 34 of you there. If you haven't, follow me on X because I need all the support I can get. Archer Daily has now blocked me and told all his mates to block me. But I have you guys, so it's all good. If you're on YouTube, smash that subscribe button. Didn't trust me. Oh no. Goat Gain says, I saw that. Now they can use those to do dangerous missions that have a 100% chance of completing the mission, but without a 100% chance of killing the pilot. Dylan says, trust, if someone comes for you, we got you virtually at least. Do you know what? It's one of those, I think, do you know, some days you just are in a bad mood, you know? It's not even I'm in a bad mood, I'm just, I don't know. That guy just rubbed me up the wrong way. It was one of those where, do you know when you actually go out, me and you were talking, Dylan, and I was sending stuff to Archer Daily, and I was like, I really don't think that there's an Archer, like, link in this at all. And, like, we've been speaking last while. Like, I put on my video yesterday about why I didn't think Archer were to do with Tesla with that whole robotaxi announcement. But yeah, it just really rubbed me up the wrong way when I sent him all that stuff. And then I'm speaking to my mate Dylan, and then go back on X, and like all my research is up on his page, and like everyone reposting it. And I'm like, you could have at least like tagged me in it, or even if you put like thank you, Hustle Brothers or something like that, I would have been like fair. So then, as a mate, I'll never call you out like direct on X. I'll always speak to you first. So I've messaged him and just read it. So I was like, do you know what? I'm gonna hit him where it hurts. Then Stockton says, "Is it Archer Daily behind you? Call Archer fact check to make sure." I'm telling you, they're the same guy. I know it's the same guy. I might actually share that later on X when I'm chilling out. Yeah, because I want to have facts. I don't want to just be spouting. I want to have facts just to like show you. There's the receipts, guys. I'm not one of those, but it's like, do you know what? It was the fact that he just started trying to like big it up. Then after and back it, and I was like, no. Do you know what? When you've done wrong, always put your hands up. There's many times. Look, I'm wrong most of the time. You jump back. I was saying that in Rocket Lab, I had a different theory about how these reaction wheels could be for military clients, and then one of the other creators, Scott O, put out that he believes it was Amazon, and it came out it was Amazon. And you jump onto Scott O's thing. I was the first to congratulate him, and I was like, fair play, you got that bang on. So look, I'll always hold my hands up. When I'm in the wrong, I'll hold my hands up. And that's all I wanted Archer Daily to say to me. All I wanted them to say was like, yo, it was bad on my part. I should have reposted them. I won't do it again. And look, fair play, I'll forget about it. But then when he just came back at me and like reposted me in front of like 4,000 people, I was like, do you know what, dickhead? Do you know what? I will show people who you are. So yeah. And his name's Remy. That's another one. That is real name. Stockton or Dylan says, I think there's some journalist integrity point behind the words you're saying. Yeah, do you know what? Sometimes I have to be careful what I do say. I don't want to get in trouble either, not gonna lie. Archer fact check is relentless. Honestly, anyone on Team Joby is. Archer fact check is Archer Daily. I will prove it. I will show you the message from Archer Daily. Archer fact check is Archer Daily. He runs a few accounts, and I'm near enough certain, because I got told off for banning this Ross Nolan guy that does be giving me abuse on YouTube from Archer Daily, and I was like, well, look, you two are connected then. So yeah, they're all in a little pact, but I'm 99.999% sure Archer fact check is Remy. Like, Remy is Archer fact check. Remy is Archer Daily. I'll call, like, if I see Remy in the thing, I'll show you who Archer Daily is on YouTube. Like, I'll show the username come up. So look, and you can tell Archer Daily I'm speaking about him. Like, look, guys, you're always in the wrong when you go back on my ex now. When I kicked off, look, I might have said a few things that I shouldn't have said, but you know what? I've said, out of the Hustle Brothers, I'm the one that lays my heart on my sleeve. I'm the one that gets most passionate. I'm the one that I could be Joby 1 minute, I'd be Archer the next minute. And I'm the one that, like, I'll tell you whatever happens in life. So, like, if I've had a shit day, I'll tell you I've had a shit day. If something happens in my day, I will tell you what's happened in my day. If I make money, I'll tell you. If I lose money, I'll tell you. But yeah, as soon as I called him out, and then I know it was the line that got him. I said, I'm about to expose you. You know I've got gold on you. Beep, 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 kind of thing. And then I got blocked. So yeah. Why block me? Like, we've been chatting for a year or so, but it was just really annoying me. Like, I don't know. Can I go back on certain messages? So I can go back on like emails and Discord and that, with messages on them. But you can see all the information I send them, and it's only one way. Like, look, there was a few times, I won't lie, there was a few times he sends stuff out, but anytime he sends me information, you can go back on my ex. Anytime I get information from Archer Daily. I throw it out there, and there's so many times I've said like, make sure to follow Archer Daily. So yeah, look, it is what it is. You fall out with some people. I don't know. There's not much more I can say on that. Yeah, like we've had many creators. Like, we've worked with many people, and some people have come and some people have gone. And yeah, like it is what it is. Like, I will always I'll work with anyone. I don't care who you are. I'll work with absolutely anyone. But when I think someone's taking the piss, I'll call them out direct. And then it is what it is, my guys. VastianC says, sometimes you need to float above the noise and keep pulling on the threads that matter. I've had a lot of people repost my DD, and luckily I catch a shout out most times. Do you know what? It's so frustrating though, isn't it? And do you know why it's so frustrating, VastianC? It's because this news is so hot at the moment. And it's because I've trusted him as a friend. It's not like some random guy's done it. If some random guy's done it, I kind of like, I've like, look, the game's the game at the end of the day. If someone wants to nick from me, they can nick from me. Like, anyone can nick from me. But it's when I'm directly sending it to you and we're having a conversation, and then you go and do that. And then as a friend, I've reached out to you and said like, yo, what the fuck? But yeah, it's all this. Dylan says, you are and always have been authentic. Brings me back to the channel. Do you know what? Sometimes it's a little bit too much though. I can get a bit fiery sometimes with certain people. Yeah, we had like, I'm not even gonna name the guy's name. We had falls out with like loads of girls. And yeah, like I used to do streams with people that I would have called quite close friends. So yeah, it is what it is. Dylan says we might have to talk some of these Joby charging networks from that interview that just came out. I can hear it bullish. I can hear it as bearish. I need to double check that because I know you were watching it, Dylan. I need to jump in and actually have a look at that. We need to bring that tomorrow. Really, tomorrow, what I want to do, I want to like go over like proper hard facts, what we know about this Tesla flying car. I want to go over Archer and Joby, everything that's happened, and then I kind of want to like prep us for the Archer earnings call and the Joby earnings call. Look, tomorrow could be a long one, and Dylan, don't feel the need to like have to stay on with me for ages and ages and ages, because I do know you have a family and that, but tomorrow probably will be quite long because there's so much I want to cover, if you get me. But no, I'm so excited. Look, you guys know Dylan fits in like a puzzle piece. So Dylan says the charging ports will continue to be an interesting but not forgotten part of the puzzle. Do you think there's a connection with Tesla there, with the charging ports? That's the only proper material thing I think that probably could be there. And then we were talking about the Tesla 4680 battery cell. That's a lot more efficient, a lot. It kicks out an awful lot more power than both Archer and Joby's battery. The only thing is the encasing, the thermal encasing around the batteries. Is it going to be that hard for Tesla to do it? Look, as standard, it can already kick out more. Like, it's designed for the Cybertruck, but yet as standard, it can kick out more power for a longer period of time than Archer and Joby's batteries, and it can easily, like, it's lighter than Archer and Joby's batteries. I don't know, like, don't fix it if it's not broken, kind of thing. do Archer and Joby want to go down the fact that like we can take Tesla on in battery power, or do we just grab Tesla's batteries and like continue with our business? I think Archer could. Joby, I think, would vertically integrate, but Joby has taken a lot of Tesla engineers, so they could develop their own. Who knows? Dylan says, let's unpack the box tomorrow. Yeah, no, I'm excited about that. Vaccine C says, got a bounce. I appreciate the work you've done. I did a profit and loss in my portfolio and top realized gains was Joby because of you sharing the eVTOL T. Vast, do you know what? It goes both ways, my guy. You share so much about the likes of O and DS. You've got me really excited about that. Lightpath, I'm really interested in the thermal optics. So no, look, we're gonna do great things. But guys, if you haven't, follow Vast CNC. Vast CNC covers a lot of drone stocks. He would know an awful lot more information. Look, I am very, very new to this whole drone stock space, but we're gonna start doing spaces together with Vast. Vast runs them. Vast is the host. I'm just there just to be ears, not gonna lie. I'm just like one of you guys. But let's support Vast. And guys, if you don't know Vast CNC, his name is Chris Pye on X. So yeah, make sure you follow him on X. And yeah, follow my good friend Dylan. What are you? Dylan is Dylan11 on X. Look, you have to. One of the Hustle Brothers. You have to. Also, guys, 40 of you here. I need you to, more than ever, bang that like button, yeah? Whether you're on YouTube, but no, more the guys that are on X, because the guys that are on X always stay in the whole stream, but you never bang the like button. And it's so frustrating because we could get so much more people in here. We could share so much more thoughts, so much more information. I'll probably start drama with so much more people. But do you know what? It gets exciting like that. That's the thing. You've calmed me down, but I'll probably go on a rampage tonight about certain people on X. Look, leeches. I'm calling them leeches at this stage. Yeah, I'll call certain people out. There's a few people in Joby community. There's a few people in the Rock Loud community. And there's quite a few more people in the Arch community. Horizon Aircraft community ain't too bad. I'm not that big in ONDS community at the moment. Vertical aerospace, so I'm only sort of reaching in there, so I don't have many contacts in there. Yeah, Joby community. There's a few people I need to call out there. They need to telling off, my guys. Yeah, I'll go on a rampage on X. It will be funny. Guys, anything else you want from me? I don't know. It's been a long night. Do you know what? I was frustrated. I'm just gonna sit back and tell you. Look, cattle broke out. Never a good one, but not at this time of night. Cattle broke out. So you're in the field, in the pissing rain. Wind, belting. I have my phone, I'm just like, whatever, speaking to Dylan and stuff like that. And yeah, all this kicked off. And I was like, do you know what? I was having a bad enough day about Archer and Tesla as I was. You know, I jumped on Archer and Tesla. I don't really like these Tesla Archer links anymore. Look, you're all going to jump on me and say, look, I had a guy in the comments the last day say I was the one that started it. I was like, I'm pretty sure I didn't start this whole rumor. And if I did, I'd be quite proud of myself. But no, I didn't start this whole rumor. I did. I was an echo. I did push it. I was the face of the rumor at this stage. But look, sometimes we need to hold our hands up. I was wrong. Nothing happened on October 7th. And we just gotta move on. Do you know when you just keep dragging it out? Archer and Tesla, I think that rumor's gone. Like, unless something comes out in the earnings call, and I said that if something comes out in the earnings call, and Adam says like hype that ain't really material, but he's just throwing Tesla in there to excite everyone. I'm gonna lose on the earnings call. Me and Reese had one. I think it was like our second ever earnings call. I think people actually called us out saying we were drunk on the earnings call, and we are like, "You've been watching us for like 3 hours. Like you can see we're not drinking. You can always see that my it's clear." But yeah, they were calling us up because like we just went on a rampage, and that's the thing. Like our streams are back now. I know our streams got very engineering focused and very, I don't know, a little bit different than what they used to be. But baby, we're back. We're back with pure emotion. I'm excited. And that Dylan joins the party, so it is what it is. Goat Game says Archer honestly started that rumor. Kind of. Adam did put that out. More hell yes at the UP Summit. But and then Archer did post like around the UP Summit was all to the UP Summit. Like it's a bit like it's kind of fair game in one way. It's a bit like if the Hustle Brothers were there with Tesla, I'm certain I would post videos of me with Tesla. Doesn't mean we're partnering with them. And I don't think Archer ever came out and hinted at a partnership, did they? I know. No, I actually don't want to say that because I don't want to throw certain people under the bus. But yeah, there was someone at Archer that did maybe push it a little bit harder than he should, and he deleted a few of his posts. But I think that was just an honest mistake. I think he got carried away with the hype himself. And look, we all have fun, don't we? It is what it is. Joby and video. Look, some guy jumped into the comment earlier and said it's not an exclusive partnership. And he said I made that up. And I literally sent him the link, and it literally headline said Joby sign exclusive launch partnership with NVIDIA. I don't know. People think we're a lot bigger than we are. We don't go around making up rumors. I have a lot more to do than make up rumors around Archer and Joby Aviation. Like looking for cattle and starting wars on X. I don't know where I have all this time, my guys. But yeah, look, it is what it is. Jumped on for a bit of therapy from you guys. Good for you here. Do smash the like button on the way out. Smash that subscribe button. Thank you for being here. And look, I'm going to stay emotional. I'm going to stay passionate. I'm going to stay wear my heart on my sleeve. Don't like it, fuck off. Simple as that. Bro, it is what it is. All right, guys, until tomorrow.